I am Jennifer Wilkerson. I am a senior crime laboratory analyst in both the biology and crime scene sections in the Pensacola Regional Operations Center. In biology, I examine items of evidence for the presence of body fluids. I also swab items for wear or touch DNA that's been left from skin cells that were left behind from a person that wore or touched the item. I'll then take that and develop a DNA profile, and I'll compare that DNA profile to other DNA profiles in the case. I'm also a cold case and DNA analyst. I do most of the cold cases that come to Pensacola. I'm grateful that I've gotten to solve some of those. The oldest one was 1975, so I thought that was pretty neat that I could use DNA evidence to catch a criminal that had gotten away with it for almost 40 years at the time. Thanks to the new DNA technologies, and I got to be a part of that, which was very exciting to do that. In 1975, the Catherine Ainsworth didn't show up to work. Her friends and coworkers basically called a welfare check on her because she didn't come to work and they couldn't get in touch with her. Police go to her apartment. They find her dead on the floor, naked, and she had been strangled to death. She was actually laying on an orange circular rug, and at the time there was several suspects. The most prominent one was a man named William Rouse. He lived in her apartment building, and police first took an interest in him because all the police were outside. Everybody else is like, what's going on? What's going on? And he just walks by and doesn't even look at them. So that got their attention up, and the police go to interview him. He had changing stories, like he said he was at a party the night before, and then he left at this time, and then the next time they asked him, he left at a different time. I think they did find people to confirm that he was there, but nobody could say for sure when he left. But they never could prove that he did this, even though he was the main suspect. The case came to me, and they submitted that orange rug that she was found laying on. So I checked the rug, and even after, at the time I said it was 37 years later after it happened, I got a pretty good profile. It wasn't complete, but it was almost there. I entered the profile into CODIS. It did not hit. The investigator, I was like, hey, you have suspects. And he goes, well, there's one main one. And I was like, well, can we get a buccal swab from him to see? So the investigator found him. Unfortunately, he had died years ago and had been cremated. So that even took out an exhumation of the body to try to get a standard off a bone or a tooth or something. So without any other options, we had to think outside the box a little bit and asked if he had any biological children because we could compare it that way. He did not. He was married and had stepchildren, and one of his stepdaughters had married a New York City homicide detective, and that's who the investigator was conversing with. The homicide detective goes, you know what? When he died, there was these two hats that he always wore, and they gave them to me when he died, and I tried them on once and didn't like them, so they're actually up in the shelf of my closet. So he mails the hats from New York over to Okaloosa Sheriff's Office. They submit them. Plus his own buccal swab for elimination and his wife's. I swab the hats, and it does have a mixture on it. I back out him and I back out his wife, and sure enough, the profile that's left matches the semen on the rug from 1975. So with that information, the state attorney's office closed the case that he was the murderer. DNA is such a good tool for identifying suspects and helping police figure out who committed the crimes that they're investigating.